How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the long-awaited next chapter in the Spooktacular October Dark Movie Special Month. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the movie Coraline, which is yet another very entertaining entry into a long history of pretty great animated horror films for kids. Now, I love horror, I love stop motion, I love Henry Selick, and to some degree I love kids' movies. Coraline has all of these things, and they're all in their prime. Henry Selick's writing and direction is on point, the stop-motion animation is beautiful and almost flawless, it's suitable for kids who aren't pussies, and it's successfully scary in a large variety of ways. Now, Coraline is a film I watched all the time when I was younger, but I don't really know if about 2 years or a year and a half ago is long enough to be part of my childhood classics, like Shrek and Monster House, which I watched from a very young age, but I'm just going to count it for nostalgia's sake. All the characters in Coraline are fun, well-developed, and interesting and likeable in their own ways. The contrast between the real world and the better world is brilliant. Coraline herself starts somewhere where she's not really that likeable or that interesting, I suppose. She's just another girl with blue hair. But she develops into something else while keeping her original charm, like a real kid does. Like, she actually grows up a little bit, but she still keeps that childlike essence. I love how everything in the better world deteriorates in a way that is truly horrifying and sense of reality breaking. And let's not forget about everyone's all-time favourite character, Wyborn, or Wybe. My personal favourite character in the whole film is the Black Cat, voiced by Keith David, who previously played Childs in The Thing, which is another favourite of mine, as you all know. It actually made me come up with a new theory for that movie. So in the ambiguous ending, where we don't really know who's human, Childs was in fact an imitation, and after reaching civilization, he thought to himself, I'm gonna get fucking burned if I try and get at these people. So he decided to imitate a cat and moved to wherever Coraline is in Coraline and became friends with Coraline. Yeah, The Thing connections, anybody? Who knows, I might make a 10-minute video that seems far-fetched but actually makes a bit of sense when you put that into perspective. Like I said, everything visually is jaw-droppingly perfect, especially the production design. There are some moments where you can see the puppets' lower and upper faces separate. If you don't know, Leica does their puppets in a way that the lower and the upper faces are separate parts, and they take the lower part off and put another one back on, as to simulate mouth movement, which is very interesting. It's a minor error, and I hardly even noticed it beyond, 2 times, where it was a bit obvious, and the character design is just so damn amazing and matches the characterization and helps it so much. Terry Hatcher does a particularly good job with the different sarcastic, caring, and monstrous lines she has to deliver. Coraline's real mother is this sarcastic woman who literally does this when she says that Dad is preparing something special for lunch. As the other mother, she's very caring towards Coraline. Sometimes she's a bit sad, and there's times where she is very monstrous and evil in her line delivery. And she does all these different things perfectly. All these different emotions are projected in very interesting ways. Some of my favourite sequences in the whole film are the opening sequence, the Coraline piano song, the jumping by circus, the Black Cat's first speaking scene, the quest to find the missing kid's eyes, Mr. Bobinski's introduction, the final battle between the kids and the living metal hand, and the ending scene. The soundtrack is unforgettably intriguing and beautiful as well. It was inspired by French cinema and stuff like that. Now, of course, I can't talk about this film without talking about the button eyes. They were undeniably the scariest aspect of the film in terms of the effect they have on you as a viewer. The only characters who look kind of charming are the other dad, the other Mr. B, and the other Wybe, but all the other characters range from unnerving to downright creepy, especially the other mother, when she gets that long-ass giraffe neck. There's a great feeling of distress and hopelessness when Coraline's parents go missing, and you really feel the encouragement for Coraline to go and rescue them. Now, this actually leads to my only real issue I have with this film, and that is a really corny line by Coraline, delivered in a really corny, unconvincing way. When the cat is just it's just a trap, she literally says, "They are my parents," when she's going to rescue her real parents, and I just couldn't help but laugh at it. I don't really know if that should take a point off though, because I don't mind Dakota Fanning at all. Really, she's a good actress. She's great in this film. But oh my god, was that line laughable? I don't really know if it's worth taking a point off for. Maybe it is. It's just when something does something unintentional and it gets that kind of reaction out of you, it's kind of difficult because even though you really enjoy everything else, there is in fact an error there. Maybe I'm willing to ignore it. I don't know yet. Gonna need about another 50 seconds to think about it while I wrap this video up. I'll just be processing that in the back of my mind. Anyway, I had fun revisiting this film, and I hope you can all appreciate it as much as I do. I know that people also like Paranorman and are more mixed on films like Box Trolls, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Missing Link, but they can really start it off in an amazing place, and I hope they keep making movies that are so visually striking. Travis Knight, the founder of Leica, literally said that as much as he would love to keep directing live-action films, such as a Bumblebee sequel, he would like to focus on Leica, and I really hope that is true. Also, for those of you that are interested, I just recently found out if you live in Los Angeles, but I have quite a small audience, so that's very unlikely, they're doing a free all-day showing, like a recap of all the movies they've released, hopefully in anticipation of releasing a new one. I feel like not enough people appreciate stop-motion animation enough when they really should, but I'll talk more on that issue another day. And I'm giving Coraline a 9 out of 10. It's closer to a 10 than an 8. Who knows? I might change it to a 10 later, but for now it's a 9. Avoid this shitty video game at all costs. I don't care how curious you are, this film is great. Thank you. Smiley face.